What it do, baby? You already know what time it is. It is time for reality to be injected into the veins of people that are living in a delusional sports world. Hang on. There we go. Like I said, it is time for reality to be injected into the veins of people that are living in a delusional fucking sports world, because I am so sick and tired of people thinking one thing just because. But we're going to get into just because in just a little bit. But like I said, people, they live in a fantasy world. What can I say? They really do. You hit them with the truth and they don't want to accept reality. Sometimes you need that reality stone. In any case, before we get into tonight's show, we got a lot of things to discuss about, and man, oh man, are they some good ones. One of which I'm wearing. Baseball. We're going to talk about the White Sox in just a bit, but it really has to do with somebody that finished second in AL MVP voting. And man, oh man, does his downfall need to be fucking studied. Look, before we get into tonight's show, be sure to click the link in the description of this video and be sure to click on the tab that says truevictory.com. They are veteran-owned, veteran-operated. They have a lot of awesome merchandise. They have a lot of awesome t-shirts. Whether you're prior military, current military, they have everything you need. Whether you're a college football fan, NFL fan, they got your college colors. They got everything. Outside of that, they also have gym accessories, gym bags, decals. The list goes on and on. Once you've found what you're looking for, when you get to checkout, be sure to use code NOMERCYSPORTS15 for 15% off your entire purchase. True Victory, baby. Let them know I sent you. Now, without further ado, let's get into tonight's show because we got an awesome one. Like I said, we got a lot of topics to talk about, and I cannot wait. Let's get into it. Let me talk to you. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. And man, oh man, Friday doesn't get any better. I currently got Friday Night SmackDown on in the background right now. This is the last WWE show before we get into SummerSlam this weekend. Now, speaking of SummerSlam, we have Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk for the WWE Championship, which ironically, we're going to get to this area in just a bit. It is taking place at the Minnesota Vikings field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that when Cody came back, he won the WWE Championship because it was long overdue. It really was. Because, any gimmick that Vince was giving him, Cody was crushing it. He was over. He was over with that gimmick. Anyways, but now ever since he, quote unquote, finished his story and won it back a couple times, now, much like CM Punk, WWE is basically giving Cody Rhodes the WWE Championship with the literal reason being just because. Look, it's one thing to win the title, but just casually giving it to somebody with little to no reason whatsoever is practically overkill. Now, don't get me wrong. Guys like John Cena, The Rock, Triple H. I'm sure Triple H had little to no reason to get the WWE Championship, World Heavyweight Championship. Obviously, he married into the business, figuratively and literally, because his wife is Stephanie McMahon. But, I mean, look, a lot of these guys were given the title because they could practically carry the company. What has Cody shown that he can carry this company? Because I'll tell you this right now, I would much rather watch a Bloodline segment than Cody coming out saying, "What do you want to talk about?" The fuck? In any case, though, so a while back in a group chat that I'm in, the host with the most, who is the host of the most villainous podcast you will find on social media. We do a lot of things on that show, whether it's food, music. I mean, the list goes on and on. But now that football season is on the horizon, we're going to be talking an awful lot about that. So Andrew, the host of Villains the Podcast, brought up a picture of Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, and Cody Rhodes. And the topic was delete one. So, me being me, I said, hey, I'm going to delete Cody Rhodes. Because what has he done for the modern day? But people really want to say that they will delete Stone Cold Steve Austin. They also want to say, like, hey, he was a flash in the pan because of the 2-3 year run that he had. Huh? Nah. I'm going to say this right now. Without Hulk Hogan, there's no WWE. There's no golden era or golden age era. There's no good guy era. Without Stone Cold Steve Austin, there's no attitude era. Without John Cena, there's no ruthless aggression era. And like I said, Stone Cold Steve Austin was the literal frontman and pioneer for the attitude era. But let's just call it what it is, and let's ask the question. If Cody Rhodes were to win the WWE Championship at SummerSlam again, would his resume be considered better than Stone Cold Steve Austin's? To that I say, nah. There is no way in hell. Look, yes, Cody Rhodes came back at WrestleMania, faced Seth Rollins, beat him at WrestleMania, and then proceeded to go on to win back-to-back Royal Rumbles. Now, after his second winning of the Royal Rumble, he then would go on to finish his story in arguably one of the greatest endings in WrestleMania history. If you haven't seen the ending for WrestleMania 40, I highly suggest it. The amount of people that came out towards the ending between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes, it is easily top tier. Top 5, in my opinion, for WrestleMania finishes. Or WrestleMania main event finishes, I should say. But in no way, shape, or form, if Cody wins at SummerSlam and beats CM Punk, is his resume considered better than Stone Cold Steve Austin's? Like I said, Stone Cold was the literal pioneer for the Attitude Era. What is Cody Rhodes known for since he returned to the WWE? What is he known for? Educate me. Fucking educate me. That's a little foreshadowing with one of the other topics that we're about to get into, or we'll get into later on, I should say. But yeah, look, I like Cody Rhodes, but if he wins the WWE Championship, we're basically basing WWE wrestlers off of how many times have they won the WWE Championship, and not considering, hey, Hulk Hogan was a frontman for this era. John Cena was a frontman for this era. Fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin was a frontman for this era. What is Cody Rhodes known for? Nothing. Again, I like the fact that he came back and won the WWE Championship. But now because of the fact that he's basically getting the title with the fucking reason being just because. What? There's got to be more reason to that. Now look, like I said, after WWE United Champions, when Sami Zayn won the title, it caught me off guard. It really did. Because he has been a mid-carder since he came up to the main roster from NXT. But for him to drop the title 9 days later, and of all people, to CM Punk, get the fuck up out of here. Like, they're really giving it to anybody and everybody nowadays. Or, I'm sorry, if you still haven't finished your story, you're still getting the fucking title nowadays. But again, look, I love Cody Rhodes. But right now it's like, dude, when you won your title and you had it for a year, good for you. Good for you. I'm all for it. I really, really am. But now that you're basically just winning it with no reasoning behind it whatsoever, I can't get behind that. Hell, people really, the same people that are saying, you know, oh, hey, Cody Rhodes is good for WWE. Him having the title is good for it. But we find the Bloodline story overkill and boring these days. I would much rather watch a Bloodline segment than I would a Cody Rhodes segment. I would much rather go back to 2022 or 2023 or whenever the fuck that Bloodline Usi segment happened when Sami Zayn broke all the members of the Bloodline. I would much rather go back to that segment than I would watch a fucking Cody Rhodes and CM Punk segment. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not the one in charge of WWE or anything like that. I mean, if it were up to me, hey, I'd put the World Heavyweight Championship or even the WWE Championship on LA Knight, because this dude has been so fucking over for the last... Because LA Knight has been so over for the last 4 years. Since he debuted, or since he switched his gimmick up from Max Dupree to LA Knight in, I want to say, November of 2022. This dude got over organically. And the only thing that the WWE gifted him was a United States Championship. Give this dude the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship, please. He is over with the crowd. The fuck are we doing right now? But sure, give it to Cody Rhodes because Dusty is 6 feet under and probably turning in his goddamn grave. Anyways, look, WWE SummerSlam, both Saturday night and Sunday night for night 1 and night 2. Be sure to stay tuned. It's going to be a fun one, and it's going to be an awesome time. We got Hell in a Cell of Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. That is easily going to be match of the night for night 1 of SummerSlam. I honestly cannot wait. But since SummerSlam is taking place in the Midwest, let's talk about somebody else who's from the Midwest. Most importantly, from Akron, Ohio, who just now signed a 2-year, or who most recently signed a 2-year, $8 million contract coming from the Los Angeles Lakers to the Philadelphia 76ers. Why? Because in Akron, Ohio, born and raised on the basketball court, is where LeBron spent most of his days. After winning his 4th title, things got plain silly. So now he's headed to the Sixers and playing for Philly. Like I said, LeBron James is heading to the Philadelphia 76ers on a 2-year, $8 million contract. The 76ers, they've been a good team over the years recently. But, I mean, if you were still a fan of the Sixers during their insane 2010s run, oh, my God, were they bad during that time. Or actually, no. After Rose tore his ACL in that series against the Sixers, that's essentially when the Sixers started going downhill. And for about solid 2-3 years, ownership, management, they started to implement the whole trust the process thing. Now, since then, that has worked for them because they've gotten to the playoffs. They got Joel Embiid. They've drafted a lot of good players. We really thought that bringing in Ben Simmons, him developing his game, essentially, we really thought that he was going to be the next LeBron. But didn't work out like you thought it would. And now this dude is essentially Colin Kaepernick saying like, oh, I'm trying to make a comeback. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. Bro, we saw your bullshit on the fucking court. You're not doing anything anytime soon. Shut your bitch ass up, Simmons. Just shut up. My God, my fat ass could beat you in a game to 11 with a 9-0 lead. And I'm talking, I got a 9-0 lead on your stupid ass. Anyways, though, look, like I said, the Sixers have been good ever since the whole trust the process thing came about. But they just haven't been able to get over the hump of, advancing to the finals for the first time since 2001 when they lost a gentleman's sweep to the LA Lakers. And obviously in that finals matchup, we got one of the most iconic photos of all time of Allen Iverson shooting a three and stepping over Tyronn Lue. But now the Sixers have not only Jaylen Brown, but also LeBron James. Will the addition of LeBron James make the Sixers one step closer to winning their first championship since 1983? I don't think so. Maybe they have a chance, but in the East, you still got the Boston Celtics, you still got the Detroit Pistons, you still got the Miami Heat, who just recently acquired Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, look, the East is just, it is what it is, but it's I'm also forgetting about the now NBA champions. I never thought I'd say this in my lifetime. The now NBA champions, the New York Knicks. And I guarantee you, Jalen Brunson, this dude straight up said, look, I'm looking forward to going into this season with a target on our backs. That is somebody of a mentality that you should fear. You should fear somebody with that type of mentality. Like, he is literally excited to go into this season with a target on his back. And I'm sure everybody else on the Knicks are excited to go into this season with a target on their back as well. But, hey, I haven't even gotten to the fucking Western Conference yet. Now, obviously, we know that the fucking refs are going to rig a run for the OKC Thunder. They're probably going to do the same goddamn thing with the San Antonio Spurs because fucking 7'5" alien Frenchie pussy just, I guarantee you, I think the Western Conference Finals this year really comes down to the Thunder and Spurs again. We'll see how that turns out. But right now, I mean, the way that things look in the field of the NBA, I really don't think that the Sixers are going to be doing anything anytime soon. And that's including with LeBron on their roster and Finals MVP Jaylen Brown on their roster as well. I don't see them doing anything. I really fucking don't. I mean, look, I like Philly. They're definitely contenders in the Eastern Conference and everything like that. But Joel Embiid, he is basically at this point a liability because he's missed a lot of games. Just I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Embiid. And the craziest thing is, I've actually ran into some fans that have really said if Embiid stays healthy, he is a top 5 center. I'm sorry, what? No. No. In no universe is he a top 5 center. If he's and that's including if he stays healthy. But yeah, I mean, look, we'll just for the Sixers, it's just an ongoing game of we'll have to wait and see. We've seen what they've done with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Couldn't do a goddamn thing. We saw what they did with Paul George. I'm pretty sure he's still there. Couldn't do a goddamn thing. So I don't know. I really don't know how things are going to pan out with LeBron in Philly, especially with him going into year 23 or 24 or something like that. I don't know. I really, really don't know. But speaking of LeBron, hang on a sec. But speaking of LeBron, hold up. Oh, shit. We got Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams at SummerSlam. And I'm assuming it's going to be for the United States title. In any case, though, let's stay on the topic of LeBron. Because ever since joining the Heat 16 years ago, the dude really needed a 1 hour show. A 1 hour show for 30 seconds of it being where he was going to go. Because 59 minutes and 30 seconds of that entire decision show was literal fucking highlights. Hey, look. You already know I'm gonna be careful, man. You already know. But I mean, look, LeBron to the Sixers is definitely a big deal. Are the Sixers going to do anything anytime soon? Probably not. But after our first commercial break, we're going to be talking some baseball, and a lot of it is going to be a good one, especially with Cal Raleigh looking the way that he is right now. Work with me, Terry. Work with me. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so LeBron made it a habit for players to just jump to teams and, thinking that player was a missing piece to help that team win a championship for the first time in God knows how long. But after he signed that 2-year deal with the Philadelphia 76ers, he really said that this is going to be his final decision. Yeah, okay. And my fucking net worth is worth more than Elon Musk, dude. Like, you're not fooling anybody. So let's talk about it. After the 2-year deal, will LeBron officially retire from the NBA or will he sign a one-day contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers just so he can retire with them? I say, yeah. After that 2-year deal, yes, he is 100% signing a one-day contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers just so he can retire with them. Just so he can stroke his ego. And I guarantee you, his arm is about to look like fucking Quagmire's from Family Guy when he discovered a certain thing, if you know what I'm saying. Yes, sir. Yeah, so the crazy thing is about this hat, when I was stationed in El Paso, I was looking for the regular White Sox hat that they have, the regular socks, black and white. That's what I was looking for. But when the wife saw this one, she goes, "Go with it. I like it." I was like, all right. So that's the story behind this hat. The wife liked this hat. She wanted me to get it, so I got it. But after a while of living back here, I was like, nah, I gotta get the traditional White Sox hat that they have right now. And one of the things that I found was one of their City Connect uniform or City Connect hats that had CHI written diagonally. I was like, I gotta get that as well. Yeah, it really will. It truly fucking will. That is literally how it's going to go down. The dude is going to do another, "Oh, I'm coming back home. Oh, hey, guess what? We're going to give you another 25 mil." Ooh, okay. Of this one, because if there's an away hat of this era, I'm gonna definitely add that to my collection for real. But yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, LeBron is 100% after this 2-year deal with the Philadelphia 76ers is for sure going to sign a one-day contract. I'm gonna check it out. I will. But yeah, 100% LeBron is signing a one-day contract with the Cleveland Cavaliers just so he can retire with them. But I'll tell you one thing. It's ironic I got I'm repping the Chicago Bears today, baby, because we are 1 month away from the NFL season starting. We are just a few short weeks away from college football starting. Now, yes, please do. Please do. I want to see what this thing looks like. When I see what it looks like, I'm going to make sure I add it to the collection. But yeah, so we are just a few short weeks away from college football. And if you tuned in to last night's episode of Villains the Podcast, we went over top players to look out for going into the season. We went over top 5 preseason teams going into this season, and man, oh man, I cannot wait. But there's a lot of teams right now that have Super Bowl expectations. And for a while and going on now, it's been the San Francisco 49ers that have had some serious Super Bowl expectations, especially with the fact that they've been winning with Mr. Irrelevant, a.k.a. Brock Purdy from Ohio, or not Ohio State, Iowa State. Got the Midwest area down, just wrong state. But I'm going to tell you what right now, the fact that the Niners have been winning with Brock Purdy as their quarterback is absolute insane. Unfortunately for the Niners, though, yes, they have gotten to the Super Bowl, and bet I'm going to check it out. Once I go into first commercial break, I'm going to check it out, Terry. I promise you I will. But yeah, so the Niners have gotten to the Super Bowl. And yes, they have even gotten to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback. Where the fuck he is nowadays, who knows? But now, most recently, they've been getting to the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy as their quarterback. And getting to the Super Bowl is one thing. Winning the Super Bowl is another, because practically all the Super Bowls that the Niners have gotten to in today's age, every single one they've lost has been to the Chiefs. Now, losing to the same team over and over again is one thing. Losing to the same team when you're injury-ridden is a whole different story. So, obviously, Deebo Samuel has been injured. Brandon Ayuk has been injured. The most casual one on the list, Christian McCaffrey, has been injured. And now, most recently, because the injury bug won't go away from San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan got injured because whatever the fuck is happening on his phone is definitely more interesting than whatever is happening on the goddamn road. Stay off your fucking phone when you're driving, for fuck's sake. It is mind-blowing how people are more focused on their phone when behind the wheel than actually focusing on the fucking road. If the Niners can't overcome injuries, will their Super Bowl hopes go down in flames? Yes, they will. There's no sugarcoating it. Yes, they have gotten to the Super Bowl. Yes, they have lost in the Super Bowl. But if they can't overcome the injuries that come with the players that they bring in, yeah, their Super Bowl window is closing, and it's closing fast. And I'm talking, it is closing faster than the Buffalo Bills Super Bowl window. And last year was Josh Allen's literal make or break to win a Super Bowl, because there was no Lamar Jackson, there was no Joe Burrow, there was no fucking Patrick Mahomes, just Bo Nix. You want to know what he did? The Bills had 5 turnovers. 5 against the Denver Broncos in the divisional game. Josh Allen was responsible for 4 of them. 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles. But again, this is not about the Buffalo Bills. This is about the San Francisco 49ers, because you got one of the best defensive ends in the game right now being Nick Bosa. You got one of the best tight ends in the game right now being George Kittle. Yes, I am willing to put George Kittle above Travis Kelce. Y'all are glazing the fuck out of Travis Kelce because he's married to Taylor fucking Swift. Fuck that bitch. But yeah, again, if the Niners can't overcome the injuries that come their way, yeah, they really have overcome the injuries. But if they can't win a Super Bowl with the amount of injuries they have suffered, they're not winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. They are not. That's not an insult. That is just a fact of life. But so we're going to take our first commercial break. When we get back, we're going to be talking some baseball. And man, oh man, we're going to be sticking with the Midwest area because there's some serious misery in Minnesota right now. So we'll be right back in just a minute.
can stop me now.
All right. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Now, first part of this show was essentially whatever the fuck ESPN is doing nowadays. You know, let's talk about basketball. Let's talk about LeBron James, so on and so forth. But with football season on the horizon, obviously we got to talk about that. I mean, come on. Now, let's get into some baseball because we still got baseball season going on right now, baby. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. It's ironic I got this Sox hat on right now because with the last two seasons that the Chicago White Sox have had, I'm talking 2 years ago, they set the single season loss record of 120 plus games and then followed that up with another 100 plus loss season last year. Now this season, they find themselves in first place over the Cleveland Indians. And we really considered the AL Central to be one of the best divisions because we really thought that the Cleveland Indians were going to be the front runners to win this division, the Kansas City Royals to be in contention with them, and even the Detroit Tigers as well. But that's the beauty of sports, the unpredictability. The Chicago White Sox are currently in first right now. Kansas City Royals are in dead last and have one of the worst records in the league right now. And on top of that, the Detroit Tigers aren't that far behind the Kansas City Royals. But man, oh, Minnesota fans, I feel just so bad for you guys. Because not only do you have to rely on the Minnesota Lynx in order to deliver titles to your state, but 3 out of your 5 major sports teams have won titles to their names. The only exception for the Minnesota Twins is the fact that a lot of their fans nowadays weren't around to see the Twins win the World Series in 1991. Now, don't get me wrong. The Twins, they've been on an insane run, especially in the 2010s when they got to the playoffs in 2017 and 2019. Unfortunately for the Twins, they would catch belt to ass courtesy of the New York Yankees, not only in the 2017 Wild Card Series, but in the 2019 ALDS, where they got swept. It wasn't even close. They got their asses kicked. Aside from the other major sports teams in Minnesota, you know, excluding the Lynx, the Vikings, the Wild, the Timberwolves. Timberwolves might actually do something going into this NBA season. I ain't even gonna lie. But will the Twins ever make a deep run in the postseason and even get back to the World Series? I honestly don't know. I really don't. But I'll tell you one thing. Maybe it was the Oakland Athletics female commentator because she may have been commentating the 2017 AL wildcard game between the Yankees and Twins at the time. Saying, hey, look out for Byron Buxton and everything like that because, Byron Buxton is a hell of a dude. Whatever the fucking Twins are doing right now, it's on their front office. It's on management, too. Because, my God, if this is a style of baseball that you're going to play, I really don't see you making a deep run into October baseball anytime soon. Like, what are we doing? Your last World Series win was 1991. And since then, yes, you've been making some serious deep playoff runs. But my God, what the fuck are y'all doing? Because if the Vikings, the Wild, the Twins, the Timberwolves, again, they might do something this season. They really might. If y'all don't want it, Minnesota fans, y'all really might have to start watching the WNBA religiously, because the Lynx are probably the only team in Minnesota that is going to deliver you a championship anytime soon. Dickhead, I was born in 1990. They won a World Series they won a World Series when I was 1 year old. Again, this was the time when I was still sucking my thumb and shitting my diaper. But yeah, like, Minnesota fans, y'all might have to really watch the WNBA religiously if you want to even consider a Minnesota team delivering a championship anytime soon. And that's including the Minnesota Golden Gophers too. They're not delivering a national championship anytime soon. Whether it is softball, baseball, basketball, hockey, fucking lacrosse, they're not delivering shit anytime soon. They really aren't. But let's stick on the topic of baseball. Because, oh, God. Hangovers are one thing. Trust me, they really are. I know all about those. But, oh, man, is the hangover real for the Blue Jays? From a World Series appearance last year to now being in dead last. Hi, Emily. I hope you and Andrew are enjoying Myrtle Beach right now. I really hope you guys are. Awesome pictures that Andrew sent too. But yeah, so from a World Series appearance to now being in dead last in the AL East, and they're also 9 games under 500. Granted, there's still time. There's still time to possibly, keyword possibly, make a run, because obviously the playoffs don't start until October. But at this point, Toronto should really consider cutting their losses and just looking forward to next season. Having said that, though, will the Blue Jays bounce back next year after a World Series hangover this year? Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Asshole. You're such an asshole. But yeah, like I was saying, maybe the Blue Jays bounce back next season. Maybe they don't. But I mean, one thing's for certain: they signed Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to, I think it was like a $15 million deal. But on top of that, they also lost Bo Bichette to the Mets. I mean, hey, the Blue Jays definitely got the last laugh out of it, because the New York Mets went into this season with the second highest payroll going into the season, and they are currently in dead last in the NL East. But yeah, honestly, as far as the Blue Jays go, they are just. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't watch college hockey, but I know the Minnesota Golden Gophers aren't delivering a national championship in hockey anytime soon. Notre Dame for sure ain't, because I don't watch college hockey. I'll be real about that. But yeah, they always say that the comeback is greater than the setback. Well, it's time for the Blue Jays to show that next season, because your hopes are going down the drain, and they are going down fast. But speaking of last season, it is crazy. Fucking crazy. Oh. What a difference a year can make for Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I'm insanely happy for the guy that he finished second in AL MVP voting. You know, do I think he deserved the AL MVP? Yes, because since my buddy came out to visit from California and dropped some numbers on me with the season that Raleigh was having, as not only as a switch hitter but as a catcher, yeah, I do believe that Cal Raleigh should have won AL MVP last season. But I was looking at a lot of other things when comparing Judge to Raleigh. You know, batting average, home runs, RBIs, on base percentage, OPS. I mean, look, the list goes on and on. When my buddy dropped some facts and numbers on me, I was like, okay, bet. Let's talk about it. Let's fucking talk about it, because Raleigh was shattering numbers as a switch hitter and also as a catcher. But my tunnel vision having ass was so focused on, he's only leading the league in home runs. That is not a good look for baseball. He is batting under 250. Judge is over 330. Judge was walked more times than Cal Raleigh. And a lot of those times that Judge was walked were intentional. Pitchers were still pitching to Raleigh with the knowing that he was still leading the league in home runs. But now look at Raleigh. He is insanely under he is insanely under 200 for a batting average right now. He's not even within shouting distance of 20 home runs. He has 11. He doesn't even have 50 RBIs this season. Now, look, I get it. Injuries are one thing. That is 100% a factor. But Judge has also been injured for practically the entire season, and he still had a 250 batting average. Judge almost has 20 home runs this season. The only thing that Raleigh and Judge are tied in is RBIs. So, having said that, was it a good thing that Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh didn't win AL MVP last season? Yes. Yes, it was 100% a good thing he didn't win, because holy fucking shit. Look at Raleigh's numbers right now. But look, I get it. You know, you have a historic season last year. Obviously, they base it off that year. But my thing is, I'm looking forward. Again, I'm glad that, he got 13 first place votes and everything like that in the AL MVP race. I'm happy for the dude. But look at where Raleigh is at right now. Imagine if he won AL MVP and he still has those fucking numbers. He is currently batting 163. He has 11 home runs and 37 RBIs. That screams AL MVP to y'all? What? Oh my God. My God. The bar is set fucking low for y'all. You really think that Raleigh was robbed of AL MVP, but you also want to go into this season looking at the numbers that he is posting right now and probably still believe that he was robbed of AL MVP because Judge is injured and his timeline is probably going to be the first or second week of August. Now, it's no secret that Raleigh or Judge are not. They are not going to win AL MVP this season. More than likely, he's going to go to Yordan Alvarez. There is no denying that. But my freaking God, if you are seriously looking at Raleigh's numbers this season and still believe that he was robbed of AL MVP last season, I will knock your motherfucking asses out worse than Dan Henderson did to Michael Bisping at UFC 100. Look it up on YouTube because that was a vicious knockout. Because, oh my God. Like I said, Raleigh deserved AL MVP because my buddy dropped some numbers on my ass of what Raleigh was doing as a switch hitter last season and a catcher last season. But what he's doing right now, that would have been a complete fucking joke for the MLB to award him AL MVP. It really would have. Bro, he did not. He did not deserve AL MVP last season. He didn't. But speaking, let's say in the area of baseball, because with August here, we are one step closer to not only football season starting. However, we are one step closer to October baseball. And, I cannot wait. For most divisions, it's pretty clear who's going to be walking away the winner. Obviously, if you're in the NL, if you're the Braves, if you're the Dodgers, obviously you're walking away the winner. But for the AL East, Central, and West, and even the NL Central, the Cubs are really hot on Milwaukee's tail. Now, granted, they lost to the Yankees today. There's still plenty of baseball left to be played. But let's look at the AL East, Central, and West. The AL West is a goddamn travesty. I don't know what the fuck is going on because it looks like it's going to come down to either the Texas Rangers or the Seattle Mariners. The AL Central, it is either going to come down to the Chicago White Sox or the Cleveland Indians. And, man, AL East, it's a three-way matchup between the Tampa Bay Rays, the New York Yankees, and the Boston Red Sox. Now, the divisions are one thing, but the wild card is holy shit. Because right now in the AL wildcard standings, you got the Yankees, you got the Indians, and you got the Red Sox. And there's also a few other teams that are currently hot on all three teams' tails. One of those teams, ironically, being the Minnesota Twins, but they're currently sitting at 500. Twins better start winning some games and winning them fast if they want to be Oh my God. Oh, and the fucking Yankees just gained another game on the fucking Rays. Oh my God. The AL wildcard standings continue to heat up, but the NL wildcard standings are just insane right now. Because, hang on, let me check. Work with me. All right, so right now, as it stands, the Chicago Cubs have a 4.5 game lead and currently sit at the top NL wildcard spot. Right behind them is the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Philadelphia Phillies. Behind those two teams are the San Diego Padres, Miami Marlins, and the fucking Washington Nationals. NL wildcard is literally anybody's ball game. But as we draw closer to October baseball, which teams will find their way into the wildcard spots? Look, I honestly think the AL wildcard will stand as it shows. And, you know, obviously the AL East is definitely going to be decided between the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. So it's either going to be the Yankees or Rays who finish first in the AL East or first in the AL wildcard standings. But, man, the NL wildcard standings? God. I mean, look, the Miami Marlins have been playing insane baseball right now. And they probably have a whole bunch of players that are currently on rookie contracts or, you know, obviously Yuri Perez, Sandy Alcantara, who are on some big-time contracts right now. Or maybe they're on the franchise contracts. You never know. And, yep, we got the Arizona answer backs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Terry, but in 2023, when people were calling them the answer backs, if the Diamondbacks found themselves in a hole and came back, yeah, I'm sticking with that nickname. That is a badass nickname for them, the answer backs. But oh my God. I mean, you can't, but I will. But yeah, I mean, look, the NL wildcard standings are going to be absolute insanity, especially with the fact, you know, you got San Diego. Unfortunately, that's true. Obviously, the Texas Rangers had all the answers in that World Series that year. So I really think I really think I saw or knew that the Rangers were going to win when Corey Seager hit that game 1 home run to tie it up in the bottom of the 9th, I believe. But, yeah. Hey, look, I will say this. They had the answers against they swept the LA Dodgers in the NLCS. And the Dodgers were insane favorites in that series. So, but yeah, like I said, NL wildcard is just going to be absolute insanity. It is literally anybody's ball game. Again, I know that the Cubs lost to the Yankees earlier today, but it's going to be crazy to see how things pan out for the next 2 months. Because, yeah, we got 2 months of baseball left. It's going to be crazy to see how things pan out. But we are going to take our final commercial break. When we get back, we are going to make some baseball predictions. But before we go into our final commercial break, fuck you, Pittsburgh.
can't stop me now.
All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Now, as we go into this weekend, we got some weekend matchups to talk about. Not only SummerSlam, but we got some MLB predictions to make. But before we do that, how are they? How? Keep in mind, we're coming back from a commercial break, Terry. So he is elite. I mean, my God, this is the same dude that brought the Cleveland Browns their first playoff win for the first time in what, 26 years? Yeah, 26 years. And then proceeded to beat the Philadelphia Eagles when they were heavy favorites. He really needs to re-sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm not saying that as like, oh, well, please, by all means, re-sign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and suck. No. Just, it is Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles has got to go because this dude cannot get the fuck out of his own way. He cannot. Oh, man. Who the fuck? But anyways, look, we got Friday night baseball games in the books. The New York Yankees beat the Chicago Cubs 2-0 in Wrigley, much like Terry said. Diamondbacks win 4-1 against the Cleveland Indians and advance further up in the NL wildcard standings on the Chicago Cubs. But let's talk about some weekend matchups that we got going on, right? Or that are going to be happening this weekend. Oof. God damn. Heartburn, am I right? Anyways, first game Saturday, we got the St. Louis Cardinals going into Toronto to take on the Blue Jays. Look, the fucking Blue Jays are already shit in the bed and really have been since their World Series loss against the LA Dodgers. I'm going to go with the St. Louis Cardinals on this one. Next up, we got the Chicago White Sox coming off a walk win against the New York Yankees as they head into St. Petersburg to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Look, I really like what the I could see that. You know what? Yeah, let's meet up in Gary, Indiana, outside of Michael Jackson's house, and we'll party it up, big dog. But hey, man, Terry, I want to thank you for commenting on tonight's show. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Hope it's a peaceful one, my man.
And I see through you sometimes, and I see through your mind games. You have to know that we were already on this path long before But you had to know when he showed up in Chicago when a title match just fell into your lap. Knowing how much that meant to me, that we weren't running away from each other anymore. We were running towards each other. Mind games, huh? Well, pardon me if I give you a
Anyways, so next game up, we got the Chicago White Sox going into St. Petersburg to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Give me the White Sox for the upset. I mean, man, I really think that the White Sox can really pull something off this season, especially when you take into consideration their last 2 seasons. All right. Next up, we got the Miami Marlins going into Citi Field to take on the New York Mets. There's nothing that the Mets can do right now that'll save their season. But Miami is in a run right now for a spot in the NL wildcard standings. Give me the Marlins in this one. Next up, we got the Minnesota Twins going into T-Mobile Park to take on the Seattle Mariners. I mean, right now... Oh.
Sent shivers down men's spines like I'm the boogeyman. So yeah, Cody, I knew it was going to set me and you on a path. So let's stop talking about being friends and start talking about what it's about. It's about the championship, right? I don't got to be your friend right now. I'm certainly not going to be your friend tomorrow. At the end of the night tomorrow, it's up to you if we're still pals.
Anyways, so yeah, look, the Twins, they're currently sitting at 500 right now. I'm talking about Minnesota Twins going into T-Mobile Park to take on the Seattle Mariners. So yeah, they're currently sitting at 500 right now. And the Mariners are hot on the Rangers' tail for first place spot in the AL West. Anyways, I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners in this one. I could skip over this next game, but I don't think I will. Why? Because fuck you, Schittsburg. You want to talk shit about me behind my back over a controversial video I made? You can't do it man to man? You can't come to me man to man? You got to tuck your fucking tail between your legs like the bitch you are? That's fine. I'll knock your fat ass out anyways, bitch. You know who you are. Anyways, I'm taking the Reds in this one over the Schittsburg Pirates. Next up, we got the Philadelphia Phillies going into Camden Yards to take on the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles season is basically over. I'll take the Philadelphia Phillies in this one. After that, we got a Battle of Texas as we got the Rangers going into Houston to take on the Astros. The Astros they've been on a decline recently. They really have been. So with the Rangers currently sitting in first in the AL West, give me the Rangers. Next up, we got the Arizona Diamondbacks going into Progressive Field to take on the Cleveland Indians. Yes, I will still call them the Cleveland Indians. You can erase a lot of things, but history ain't one of them. Give me the Diamondbacks in this one. Yeah, they won 4-1 today, and they advance up in the NL wildcard standings. Meanwhile, the fucking Indians are really having to chase the Chicago White Sox for first place in the AL Central. Really take that into consideration. Next game up, we got the Washington Nationals going into Truist Park to take on the Atlanta Braves. This is obviously a no-brainer in my opinion. I'm taking the Braves in this one. After that, we got a battle of two of the worst teams in the league right now as Kansas City goes into Coors Field to take on the Colorado Rockies. I really wish I could say that the Kansas City Royals are going to win this game, but I really could see the Rockies walking away with this win. All right. Next up, we got a battle of Northern California against South Carolina. We got a battle of Northern California against Southern California as the San Francisco Giants go into Petco Park to take on the San Diego Padres. Now, Walker Buehler is going to be on the mound for the San Diego Padres, but maybe, just maybe, the San Francisco Giants find their way to a win. I'm going to take the Giants in this one. The Boston Red Sox have been on an insane roll right now. Or recently, I should be saying. Recently. Now they find themselves going into Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. And unfortunately for the Red Sox, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is on the mound for the Dodgers. You know what? I like a good underdog story as much as the next guy. Give me the Boston Red Sox in this one. And I'm a fucking Yankees fan. All right. Next up, we got the Milwaukee Brewers going into Anaheim, because that is where the fucking Angels play, because they are the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Just say you're the fucking Anaheim Angels. Just makes things a whole lot easier for you dumbasses. Anyways, give me the Milwaukee Brewers in this one. And finally, we got the Detroit Tigers taking on the Sacramento Athletics. Maybe the Tigers could do something in this series. Anyways, maybe the A's can do something, but I doubt it because they're basically down where the Angels are right now. So give me the Tigers in this one. All right, so that wraps up another episode of No Mercy Sports. I really hope some of y'all got to accept the reality that was injected into your veins. Because, again, my God, do y'all fucking need it? Because Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. In any case, though, obviously it is Friday night. I know a lot of y'all are hanging out and having fun. So, having said that, don't add to the population. Don't subtract from the population. Don't end up in the hospital, dead, or in jail. If you end up in jail, call somebody whose phone number you know by heart, then proceed to establish dominance quickly. And above all else, if you are behind the fucking wheel and you are more focused on your fucking phone, I really genuinely hope that there is something more important happening on your phone that is keeping you from, or that is distracting you from what is happening, from driving on, or from focusing on the fucking road, because whatever is happening on your phone can fucking wait when you get back to your barracks, when you get back to your house, or where you get back to wherever the fuck you live. It can fucking wait. And yes, that includes getting a random ass fucking text. This is a 1 out of a billion chance I'm talking about now. That includes getting a random ass fucking text from Elon Musk saying that he is just gonna casually send you $1 billion fucking tax free. Whatever is happening on your phone, I don't give a fuck what your notifications say. It can wait. It can fucking wait. Focus more on the goddamn road than your fucking phone, people. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. But anyways, that's all the time that we have for tonight. Until next time, peace